Good morning and happy winning Wednesday, groovy citizens of Earth. Y'all, I'm excited because today is Wednesday. It's the middle of the week, so that means we have 2 more work days and then the weekend is here. So hopefully your day is going phenomenal and fabulous and all that other good stuff, because mine is. Now, let's jump in. Well, before I jump into today's topic, I just want to say this, that I did stop to get me some nourishment. And this is tea from Chick-fil-A. Don't judge me because I don't judge you. And I had a taste for, I love y'all know the chicken minis. Well, I don't care for the chicken because the chicken to me is just dry and I don't like that. So, but I do like the bread. So I always get the bread, just the 4 count, because I think it only comes in 4 and 10, but you only need 4 pieces of bread. So I got that with the potato rounds and my sweet tea. So I'm going to get this video started. In fact, I just pulled in to where I don't even know where I'm sitting in front of this building to start this vlog off so I can head on home so our sister can get into her breakfast. So today's topic, you guys, is get out of the way. Okay, so I'm going to share a quote with you all, and this quote is by Marcus Elevation Taylor. I do know that he is on YouTube, so make sure you look him up, but I believe he's also on Instagram and Twitter as well, and maybe even Facebook. But he says this. He says, if you study history, you will find that the men and women that turned the world upside down were the ones who got out of their own way. He said, get out of the way. Your insecurity has been in the way too long. Your jealousy, comma, your envy. Did I say comma? Good grief. Your jealousy, your envy has been in the way too long. The fear you've been wrestling with has been in the way too long. Get out of the way. Some of the most brilliant minds of our generation are high school and college dropouts. Come on now. Let me ask you a question. He says, when are you going to drop out of the mentality that you are not enough? We're going to unpack that just a little bit. Please do yourself a favor and dispense with the excuses that you don't have time. Dispense with the excuses that you're not good enough. Dispense with the excuses that nobody will show up if I build it. That too many people are better than me. Drop out of that. He says, I tried it. He also gives example of, I tried it last year and it didn't work. No, you didn't work. So your takeaway essentially is this. Get out of the way. Your fear has been in the way too long. Your insecurity has been in the way too long. Your envy has been in the way too long. Now, as I put on my seatbelt and begin to head home, I want to just talk about that a little bit more, because as I was watching that video, and I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I watched that video like 3 times just because it's so good. And what he says, now he's not the only one, it's a collaboration, but what he says just makes so much sense. Too many of us are not achieving the goals that we've set for ourselves, and we're not living our best lives because we are in our own way. You have to stop worrying about who's gonna like you. You have to stop worrying about what people are gonna say about you. Didn't I tell y'all before that what people think about you and say about you is none of your business? It really is none of your business, because people are going to talk regardless of what you do in life. So, just go out there and live your best life possible. Do the thing that God has called you to do, because I'm living my best life and I'm doing the things, I should say, that God has called me to do. I can't worry about who likes it or who doesn't like it. I just can't. I'm sorry. But yeah, so far too long, many of you have decided that you don't want to achieve your goals. And you might be thinking, well, Michelle, what do you mean I decided that? Yeah, you did. So you decided that when you decided that you were going to let what other people think keep you from stepping out on faith to even get started. Do you know how many times I've talked to someone and they have this great idea and I'm like, wow, that's awesome. So what do you are you doing anything with it? No. Really? Why not? And they, just from what I shared with you all in that quote, there are so many people that think they're not good enough or that there are other people better than them. Let me tell you this. Excuse me. There is always going to be someone that's better at something than we are. That's just life, you guys. That is life, and there is nothing you can do about it. It doesn't matter how strong you are, there's always going to be someone who is stronger. It doesn't matter how smart you are, there's always going to be someone that's smarter. If you're a runner, no matter how fast you are, there's someone that's going to be able to run a little bit faster than you can. It doesn't matter how good at basketball or football or golf you are, there's somebody that's always going to be better at those sports. It's just like in the world of powerlifting. Doesn't matter how strong you are, there's always going to be someone that is stronger than you. That's just life, you guys, and there's nothing you can do about that. Absolutely nothing at all. So you cannot let the fact that there's always going to be somebody out here that's better than you are at something keep you, or I should say deter you from wanting to get started doing what it is that God has called you to do. And the worst thing, well, it's not the worst thing, but one of the worst things that you can possibly do in life is not walk in your gift. See, God gave a gift to you because he believed, number one, that you could do it. He believed that you were the right person for the job. And that's why he gave that gift to you. So what is horrible is that when we don't walk in our gift, what we say to God is that we're not appreciative of that which he has given us. Do you not know that we all have a calling on our lives? Now, I can't tell you what your calling is. I really can't. But I know what mine is. If you don't know what yours is, that's a whole nother video. You need to figure that out. But we all have a calling on our lives. Like I said, I believe that it is a slap in the face of God when we don't walk in that gift. I'm appreciative of all the gifts that God has given me. I truly am. Because I look at it like this, you know, he chose me. He could have chosen anybody else to give that gift to, and chances are he probably did give that same gift to somebody else, but he chose me. He said, Michelle, you have what it takes to make this thing happen. You have what it takes to motivate my people. You have what it takes to speak life into my people. So I'm giving you, oh, this squirrel don't run out the street. I'm giving you the gift of doing that. But you have got to get out of your own way, because if you don't, you will always sit on the sidelines of life, watching other people succeed at whatever it is that they're doing, and you'll always have in the back of your mind that thought is always whirling around, what if I had done ABC or XYZ? Where would I be? What if I had started that business? How would it have turned out? Well, guess what? You'll never know, because you didn't start that business. And now you're at a point where you can't start that business because you've gotten older, and you know, you just, your best years are behind you. I hate to say that, but essentially that's what happens when you don't walk in your gift. Now, granted, you know, a lot of times God gives us gifts a little later in life. That is possible. That is very much so possible. But all I'm asking is that you get out of your way. And don't sit, y'all, and here's something else that I don't like either. Don't sit and lie to yourself and say, well, you know, I did all that I could do, but it just didn't work out. When you know full well, I was going to say something else. You know full well that you didn't do all that you could do. You did one or two things and it didn't work out. And you said, okay, I'm throwing my hands up. I quit. I'm done. That's it. Do you think all of the people that have done great things throughout history succeeded on their first try? No, they didn't. They didn't succeed on their first try, but they kept trying. They didn't give up. You guys know that I've told you this before. When you decide to do something, first of all, you need to write it out, because you need a plan. And then as you try those things or complete those things, you check them off. And things that don't work out, guess what? You kind of highlight it because those things didn't work out. So you go back to the drawing board, figure out what could you have done differently. or if you even needed that step at all, because it could be that that thing just didn't work out because you didn't really need it anyway. But if you don't ever step out there and try, you'll never know what you could have been, what you could have accomplished in your life. And I don't want you all to get to the end of your life sitting back wondering what if, because that's like one of the worst feelings in the world. I mean, there probably feels worse off than that, but that's not a good feeling. You get where I'm going with it. It's just not a good feeling sitting around wondering what if. So, I mean, I don't know what else that I can say to you all other than to reemphasize the whole get out of your way. See, it's one thing if someone else is holding you back from achieving your goals and your dreams. But it's worse when you are the reason why you're not successful. Do you realize that if you have a goal of getting your weight down to a healthy weight and you don't achieve that goal, and I'm, even as I say that, y'all, hold on, even as I say that, I'm thinking back to years ago. I remember there was a woman that wanted to sue, I don't know if it was McDonald's or fast food industry in general, because her child was overweight. And the reason why her child was overweight, because she was constantly stopping in, I want to say it was McDonald's, to purchase food for her child. So make it make sense. You want to sue the fast food industry because you pulled into the drive-thru and handed your cash or your card for your little Johnny or your Susie to eat with, and now they're big as a house. Whose fault is that? It's not theirs. She tried to say, well, they advertise their commercials on TV and kids want to go. Well, guess what? As the parent, you don't have to pull in that driveway because your child is not driving that car. You are. So she was the cause of her child being overweight, but tried to put it off on somebody else. And it's kind of it's kind of like what we were talking about when you don't achieve your goals because you stood in your way of achieving it. Nobody else is holding you back. It's you. It is you. So I need you to decide today, not tomorrow, not next week, not next month, and certainly not next year, but I need you to decide today that you are going to start doing what you need to do to get out of your way and start achieving your goals and your dreams. Okay? Because somebody somewhere is counting on you to do what you said you were going to do. Somebody somewhere needs what it is that you have to offer. But they'll never get it because you are afraid to step out there and just get started. So that's what we're going to do, y'all. Starting today, whatever that goal or that dream is that you have, I need you to start working on it today. Stop being afraid. Stop holding yourself back, because you have greatness in you just like I have greatness in me. But if we don't act on it, then nobody will ever know that. So that's it. That's my time. I'm turning on my street. And like I said, I'm going to pull up so I can go in the house and get my eat on and get on with the rest of my day. But I want to say welcome. If this is your first time, then why would you get out and leave the door open? What a dumb ass. Y'all forgive me. I just can't stand when people do dumb stuff. I digress. So if you're new to watching my videos, it's your first time joining me, thank you for giving me just a few minutes of your time to speak life into you, because that is my calling, that is my gift, and I walk into it. And if this is not your first rodeo, I want to say welcome back. I missed you guys. So good to see you again. You guys, go out there, have an amazing day on purpose. This is Winning Wednesday, so I want you to go out there and win at whatever it is that you set your mind to, because you really can. It's all about mind over matter. It really, really is. You can do it. You guys know the drill. You know my spiel. I love each and every one of you to the moon and back, and there's nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, that you can do about it, because I'm always going to love you no matter what. I'm always going to be here to support you, and I'm always going to believe in you. I love you guys. get out of your way and start succeeding. Until next time, take care.